Outside of almost having your head taken off by nurse, what were some of the impressions you got from some guys trying to make an impact on this roster? Bo Akey getting that shift late in OT as well. Who were some guys that stood out for today?
Yeah, first of all, I thought it was a good game for our team. There was a lot of really good signs, things that we worked on showed up in the game, and I thought the pace was good for the first exhibition game of the year. I thought our veteran line of Nugent Hopkins, Kane, and Hyman really set the competitive tone for the game. And then we got really good contributions up and down the lineup. But for some of the unusual suspects, Bo Akey had a good game. You can see why he was drafted where he was. He has poise, he's competitive. He made a lot of really good plays with the puck. And was unafraid of the stage. So that's a good sign for our team. I thought Dylan Holloway had a very good game, noticeable in all three zones. That line of Kajula with Hamblin and Bourgault gave us some quality minutes. We just kind of spread the minutes out. But we got lots of really good contributions there. So it was a good game for everybody.
So a player like Brandon Sutter, obviously, it's his first game in 2 years. You know, not expecting too much. What's the process going to be like with him to get him from a guy who hasn't played in 2 years to a guy who might be on this team?
Yeah, I think process-wise with him, we should expect him to play 3 of the first 5 exhibition games. I'm gonna try and stay away from playing too many people back to back. So he won't be playing tomorrow. But he's somebody that I thought that line was very good tonight. Actually I didn't mention him in the previous question, but I thought Matthias Janmark skated very well tonight. Had some giddy up to him, was involved, and that looks like it has the makings of a good line.
What are you looking for out of Broberg and Desharnais in that?
Yeah, I just want them to be themselves. I thought Philip looked very comfortable. He made some really good plays with the puck. I thought he separated people from the puck defensively and was able to accelerate out. That's the Philip Broberg I got to see in the American Hockey League on a day in, day out basis. He's somebody that I think is just growing into who he can become. And today was a good first exhibition game for him.
Hey, Jay, talking about Broberg, it looked like he got one shift there with Nurse on the right side. Was that kind of an extended shift, or trying to work him in a little bit on the right side here and there to, see as he goes along?
Yeah, sometimes the games just play out the way they play out. So that particular shift that you're talking about, it wasn't by anything by design. It was just the way Dave rolled them out on the back end for that shift, and I thought they looked good together.
You mentioned the veteran line of Hyman and Nugent Hopkins and Kane. They haven't been practicing together. So are you just trying to kind of work your kind of veteran guys into the lineup, and there's a lot of familiarity with those players, and you're not as concerned about kind of finding lines with those guys early in the year, or how do you see that?
Yeah, I think it was an opportunity to get them a home exhibition game early. And what I really liked is, you can have the attitude of, I have to go play this game. But I thought all 3 of them displayed a fantastic attitude and set, like I said earlier, they set the competitive tone for the rest of the group. They had numerous chances. They were buzzing. They did some good things defensively, and I was quite pleased. And, when they play that well together, it's a little kernel in your mind that says, maybe if I ever have to change things up, that's something that maybe we could go to.
Jay, you made a few little tweaks to your defensive and neutral zone play, and some of the guys were talking about it. It takes a while. How did you feel that your veterans played as far as the new style goes and what you want systematically?
Yeah, I thought we saw good results from that today. And, it's not, we're not reinventing the wheel here. There's angles you can take, and, people are adjusted by a few feet here or there. But what I think the true measure of where we want to get to is to be able to turn that type of structure into turnovers so that you can go the other way quickly. And it also, I think, sets you up for some rehearsed retrievals, which when you're predictable to each other, it means you spend less time in your own zone.
And when you look at your goaltending, Campbell and Skinner, do you plan to play Picker tomorrow and then just split the final 6? Like, is 3 starts a fair number for your goalies? And do you have a conversation with those guys as how many starts or even minutes they'd want in the preseason?
Yeah, you know what? We spend a lot of time with Dustin Schwartz, Sylvain Rodrigue, our goalie department, in how we're going to parse out the minutes. I'm not going to give our starter for tomorrow. Good guess, though. But yeah, I mean, we want to make sure that our goaltenders and Stuart Skinner and Jack Campbell get what they need here. We want to give them everything they need and nothing they don't need. So we don't want to overdo it with them, but we want to make sure that they're going to be sharp to start the regular season.
For a young player like Akey, who's doing this for the first time, I guess you never really know what to expect, but he seemed to almost put you in a position where you were okay just throwing him over the boards. For a young guy to do that in his first game, what does that say to you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think he came up here before me, right? So you got a good feeling for the essence of the person. He comports himself well in the dressing room, on the ice surface, in the media. I think he is somebody that, is displaying a level of maturity that I didn't expect to see. And I think in a 1-1 hockey game, where that time of year to experiment with some things, and he didn't look out of place. I thought he is shown very well right now, and should feel happy with his camp thus far.
And I guess it's a matter for young guys like him and a few others, if you can give the coach the feeling like, I'd like to see more of him, you've probably done about what you can do, eh?
Yeah, I mean, that's what he's supposed to do, right? I think realistically, Bo Akey knows that he's not playing for the Edmonton Oilers in the middle of October here, but what he wants to do is come in and leave an impression on the management group, an impression on the coaches, and an impression on the people that matter most for someone like him, which is the players on the NHL hockey team. Because one of the first steps to making the NHL is just being able to show that you belong on the same ice surface as NHL players. And, he's a young man who's had a good start to his camp. And he's someone that is obviously showing why we drafted him where we did.